Trying one more test with the polarizing filter, and this time we have a microphone adapter for the Hero 5 and a lav mic to see if we can improve the sound. The last video, the polarizer helped with the glare, but the sound kept cutting off. The speakers on the Hero 5 are blocked by the case that GoPro provides with the Hero 5. So the sound was really a problem. Yeah, hopefully this lav mic will take care of the sound problem and the polarizing filter will take care of a lot of the glare problem. Anyway, the fields ahead of us are UC Davis ag fields. This is the far west end of the campus, which actually extends for several more miles. So kind of fitting, we've got the Who playing about moving back to the land. So anyway, headed toward Davis. We'll try another tour of downtown Davis and see if this lav mic works out okay, and see if this polarizing filter still works in late afternoon sun conditions with pretty intense shadows. So here we go. That's West Village off to the right. There are about 3,000 dorm rooms that they've built. There's a community college campus over there. They're also going to be building 600 or 700 houses for faculty and staff, basically to enhance their recruiting efforts, especially when people are moving from low-cost housing areas. Davis has such expensive housing that it really helps to recruit people, especially if they have families, if they can provide affordable quality housing for faculty, staff, and their families. There's a Russell Boulevard bike path off to the right also that Russell Boulevard bike path goes about 5 miles west of Davis to, I believe, Road 95. And you can pick up Puda Creek Road, not far from the end of the bike path, and cycle into Winters in a pretty lightly trafficked thoroughfare. So the first 5 miles of the 10 miles to Winters is bike path. The last 5 miles, Puda Creek Road, is a very lightly used road that basically is used by farmers. Crossing 113 now. I-80 is a few miles south of us, headed to San Francisco or Sacramento and Reno. Orchard Park is off to the right. That's that post-World War II housing development that is fenced off now. It's been condemned. It'll be torn down and replaced in the next few years with more student housing of some sort. They don't have a specific project planned for that yet. So this is Russell Park, where Cindy and I lived shortly before and after we were married. It was a brand new development 32 years ago, when we first moved in. It was really convenient. You know, Cindy was just a very short bike ride from her classes. I was still in grad school. You know, I could pick up 113 and be at Sac State in 25 minutes. So it worked out pretty well for both of us. It'll be interesting to see how that polarizing filter handles a lot of the late afternoon sun and the shadows. Some new freshman dorms are off to the right. I think there are about 2,000 bedrooms they've built on this corner in the last 10 or 15 years. The new Student Health Center is right off to the right. They just finished building that, I believe, last year. The old Student Health Center was probably 50 years old, pretty antiquated. And so they've got a nice new Student Health Center now. These are the intramural fields. You know, oftentimes they'll play soccer, rugby, all kinds of intramural games where they need a playing field. The old Hickey Gym is off to the right. Tennis courts off to the right. UC Davis didn't enter Division I athletics until 10, 12, 14 years ago. So, there was a non-scholarship school, and the intercollegiate sports were almost club sports, although UC Davis has always had good football and basketball teams. That's Toomey Field off to the right. The Aggies played football there until about 10, 12 years ago. Pretty small football stadium for a school with as many students as Davis has. So that's why they had to build a new stadium. Plus they went into Division I. It was probably one of the requirements for them to start playing Division I teams, have better facilities. A lot of fraternities and sororities along Russell Boulevard here. I don't think Davis really has a strong Greek community. I mean, it's probably typical for a West Coast college. I think the sororities are probably stronger than the fraternities from what I've seen. So we're leaving the east end of the campus now. This is A Street, sort of the beginning of downtown Davis. So downtown Davis basically stretches from 1st Street to 5th Street and A Street to G Street. So we'll do a quick tour through downtown Davis and go back, see what kind of audio we have, see how the polarizer did with late afternoon sun, maybe post something on YouTube if it's reasonably good. That's Central Park off to the left. It's Wednesday afternoon, so actually it's Thursday, isn't it? I was thinking today was Wednesday, so no farmers market today. Developers have built a lot of new houses right on the edge of Central Park here that have sold very well. They really a premium price, and of course they've done a nice job building the houses, but downtown is really popular with empty nesters, young folks, single professionals. Pretty high demand for both rental property and owner-occupied property in downtown Davis. It's close to downtown, it's close to campus, and really a nice, walkable, safe downtown area. Housing is so expensive in Davis. There are really no what I would call high crime areas where you have to be concerned about personal safety. Because I'm a big guy, but really no areas where the sort of consensus is you don't want to go into those areas, especially at night. Davis doesn't have anything like that. I mean, the median price of housing I think is around between $580,000 or $600,000. So. Entry-level houses started at about $500 to $550 now, so it's a pretty expensive community. They don't have a lot of affordable housing, so if people don't have a minimum amount of money, they just can't afford to live in Davis. So this is the original old kind of Main Street, kind of 2nd Street between E, F, and G. The old Hunt Boyer Mansion is off to the right there. Bob Warren developed that I think about 30 years ago. Became Mansion Square. I don't know if the city required him to preserve that mansion or not, but he did, and then build up some new commercial 3-4-story commercial buildings with similar architecture all around the original mansion. But when I moved to Davis 45 years ago, this little 1-block stretch along 2nd Street, and then I'll turn left along G Street right after I turn left up here, is basically where the commercial storefronts were in Davis. I mean, most of downtown Davis was small single-family houses that have since been torn down or relocated, replaced with other development, commercial development. That's the train station right down the street. Davis rebuilt their train station, I don't know, about 20 years ago. It's really a nicely renovated, historically preserved train station. Most of the train stations, especially in rural areas in California, they're all stucco. It's kind of a, I don't know if you'd call it mission style architecture, but stucco, red tile roofs, kind of a California mission style as far as I can tell. Anyway, this is G Street between 2nd and 3rd. The old original, heart of the old original downtown. The downtown buildings in Davis were originally wood frame, but they would burn down every 10 years. So I think it was around 1915 Davis incorporated, 1910, 1915, and one of the reasons they incorporated was so they could have a fire department, just because the downtown would burn down every 10 years or so. So they incorporated, started a fire department, but also they started building brick buildings downtown so they'd be more fire resistant. Anyway, this is G Street between 3rd and 4th. A lot of nice restaurants along here. Cindy Garrison and I just had lunch today at Village Grill, which is right over here on the left. Really a nice grill, just very high quality food. Aziz Fatahi owns it, Persian guy who started Village Bakery, I don't know, 40 years ago. And he opened Village Grill about 10 years ago. And just everything he does is really high quality. This is F Street, kind of the main commercial north-south street through downtown Davis. And the old Cooper Mansion is off to the right there, Georgia and Colonial. That was in a portfolio I managed. The original Cooper family that built that in the late 1920s, he was the town doctor for about 50 years. I think there were only a handful, Davis had about 1,500 residents in the 1920s. And Dr. Cooper probably was the original doctor in town. And anyway, I got to know Stan Cooper pretty well when I managed that. Just a wonderful family. He's since moved on to Chico, but wonderful family. A lot of community bonding, community spirit with a lot of families that have lived in Davis for several generations. This white stucco building on the right, four architects, engineers, energy consultants built that for themselves. They were retired empty nesters in their 60s, and they bought that large lot, put in 4 very large units, and that kind of thing is really popular. There was nothing available for them, so the 4 of them did it themselves, developed the property themselves so they could live in it. Several motels, restaurants along here. This is D Street. We'll turn left on E Street up here, maybe jog around one more block, and then probably call it a wrap. So this is E Street, one of the original commercial streets downtown. City developed kind of a central plaza here. I don't know, about 30 years ago. It's since been superseded by Central Park. I mean, all the facilities of Central Park. Well, this should be a pretty good test of that polarizing filter and also this lav mic and that microphone adapter. See how well they're doing. So we'll go ahead, turn left on F Street, head out of downtown, and go take a look at this video and post it on YouTube if it looks like it's worth viewing.